in a world that often glorifies instant fame and loud personalities. Sometimes the quiet ones end up leaving the loudest impact. Here on Born to Win Legend, we share stories of the ones who came from nothing, faced everything, and still kept going. The ones who believed that their voice, no matter how soft, had power. And today, we tell the story of a boy with a guitar, a stutter, and a heart full of songs. A boy who became one of the biggest music icons in the world without ever losing his soul. This is the story of Ed Sheeran. He was born Edward Christopher Sheeran on February 17, 1991, in Halifax, West Yorkshire, England. From the beginning, Ed didn't fit the mold. With his messy red hair, oversized glasses, and quiet demeanor, he was the kid most people overlooked. He wasn't the loudest in the room. He wasn't the fastest on the field. But he had something deeper. A spark. A sound waiting to be found. Growing up, Ed had a stutter that made speaking difficult. He often felt out of place, like the world was moving too fast for him to catch up. But then something beautiful happened. He found music. His father took him to concerts and filled their home with songs. Young Ed listened to Eminem, Damien Rice, and the Beatles. He wasn't just listening, he was learning, finding pieces of himself inside the lyrics and melodies. At age 11, he picked up a guitar and started writing songs. They weren't polished, they weren't perfect, but they were real, and that was enough. Music became his escape, his voice, his way to speak when words failed him. He started performing. At school, on street corners, in tiny clubs, anywhere that would let him play. He recorded CDs with his own money and sold them himself. No label, no big manager. Just a teenager with a dream and a guitar case full of hope. But the road wasn't kind. He faced rejection again and again. People said he didn't look like a star, that he wasn't marketable, that his music was too simple. But he didn't let it break him. He just kept going. Day after day, night after night, playing hundreds of shows a year, sleeping on friends' couches, sometimes even on the streets, but always with a guitar in his hand. Then in 2010, Ed made a bold move. He flew to Los Angeles with no money, no connections, and no plan except to perform anywhere he could. He played open mics and gave out CDs. One night, he performed at a tiny party and caught the attention of actor and musician Jamie Foxx. Jamie saw the magic. He invited Ed to stay at his house, use his studio, and make music without limits. That was a turning point. Ed returned to the UK and released his EP independently. It caught fire online. The world started paying attention. Then came his debut album, Plus. With hits like the A-Team and Lego House, people finally heard what he had been singing all along: honesty, pain, hope, and love. He wasn't trying to be someone else. He was just being Ed. And that made all the difference. Each album told a new chapter of his life. Multiply took him global. Divide shattered records. Songs like Thinking Out Loud, Shape of You, and Perfect became anthems for millions. His lyrics were personal, often written in hotel rooms, scribbled in notebooks, or whispered into phone memos at 3 a.m. He turned his own heartbreak, joy, and growth into soundtracks for an entire generation. But even with fame, Ed never chased the spotlight. He stayed grounded, humble, focused on the craft. He collaborated with legends. He sold out stadiums. He won Grammys. And through it all, he remained the same soft-spoken artist who once played for 10 people in a basement bar. Behind the success, there were battles. Ed struggled with anxiety, with pressure, with identity. At one point, he took a break from social media and public life, choosing instead to reconnect with the real-world family, love, simplicity. In that time, he got married, became a father, and wrote music not just for charts, but for his soul. He didn't hide the hard parts. He talked openly about losing close friends, about loneliness and fame, about the challenge of staying creative in a world that demands constant attention. And yet, he kept creating, kept performing, kept showing up, not just for the world, but for himself. Ed Sheeran proved something powerful, that you don't need to shout to be heard, that you don't need to look like a superstar to be one, that being different isn't a weakness, it's your strength. His success wasn't built on hype. It was built on honesty, humility, and hard work. He taught millions that vulnerability is a kind of strength, that it's okay to write about pain, to sing about love, to cry in a song, and to stand alone with a guitar and still move the hearts of thousands. Today, Ed Sheeran is one of the best-selling music artists in the world, but he'll always be the boy from Suffolk who believed in the power of a melody, who faced every no with another song, who found a way to speak when his voice once trembled. So if you've ever felt like you don't fit in, like the world is too loud, too fast, too impossible, remember Ed, a quiet boy with a stutter and a song who changed the world, not by becoming someone else, but by becoming more of himself. This is Born to Win Legend. If Ed's journey inspired you, moved you, or reminded you that your dream is still worth fighting for, subscribe now, because the next legend we share could be you, and your song might be the one the world needs to hear.